So thanks everyone for showing up. I am Kenneth Huang. I'm an associate professor here at NUS in the Department of Industrial System Engineering and Management. I'm also the academic director for the Master of Science in Management of Technology Innovation program. I'm very happy to see all of you today, and we have a really nice program, about 40 minutes or so, lined up for you today. Okay, so first I will start with an introduction of the MOTI program. So what is Management of Technology Innovation? It is basically the effective anticipation, creation, and use of technology to innovate products and processes to accomplish the strategic and operational objective of an organization. So we are thinking about anticipation, right? So anticipating the trajectory, right? You're doing technology intelligence. You're thinking about creation, right? Creating new products, but not only that, capturing, the value of the products and then delivering the value of the product that will help companies and firms and organizations to achieve its strategic and operational goals. Okay, so with MOTI knowledge, if you decide to apply to our MOTI program, it will help you to manage, analyze, and to understand the following things, right? So this is of course not an exhaustive list of questions, but the question that we'll be examining in some of the courses that we have in the MOTI program will be, why did Nokia fail while Apple or Samsung has succeeded, right? For example, you're thinking about the technology strategy of these companies, you're thinking about the market positioning, you're thinking about how they can design better products, and then how to appeal to customers, and so on and so forth. And we don't only look at company level, right? MOTI knowledge will also help you to think about regional and national level, right? So thinking about why a country needs translational R&D, why R&D is such a critical piece in the Singapore's development, right? Should we think about patents and intellectual property protection, in Singapore or in China or in Europe, and why, right? So why and how do you file for these patents? How do you protect the fruits of your ideas, right? The fruits of your R&D. Okay, this is a very cool car. It's an electric, the BMW i3. Will it succeed, right? So it goes clearly beyond just the technical aspects of it, but really into thinking about the customer appeal, the positioning of the product, vis-a-vis its competitors, thinking about the market, what the market needs, whether the market will actually facilitate, is there enough electric charging points, whether the market will actually facilitate the adoption of this new product, and so on, right? So there could be many issues that are tied to the launch of a successful product, and MOTI knowledge will help you to understand that, right? There are also other questions that we can think about. Could Singapore SME compete against giants like 3M or Apple or Samsung, for example, right? How do we build a successful platform-based business, right? So this is pretty hot right now. How does the Apple iOS work, right? Can we build a successful platform business from scratch? Yes, we can, but it does involve a lot of investment in resources and technology and so on. It's not an easy process, right? And the MOTI knowledge will help you to guide you through that, right? The difficult and complex process. Can we anticipate technology disruptions and embrace opportunities that they bring? Can we manage and leverage opportunity from Industry 4.0 and artificial intelligence, for example, Internet of Things, right? So these are some of key questions that we will help you to answer if you enroll in our MOTI program, and many more, right? So in terms of the career, right, you're asking, what can I do, right, after I finish, I graduate with MS, MC, and MSc in Management of Technology Innovation. For career in R&D, yeah, you can think about, your R&D roles in companies and industries. Our degree will help you to further, right, potentially position you for good training, right, further training in master and PhD courses in science and engineering, okay? But if you decide to join, a company and decide to take on R&D role, right, it can also help you in terms of, better understanding and managing your team, right, better understanding the R&D processes, right, and thinking about, how can I lead an R&D team, right? Can I even, go above, becoming R&D manager, or even at one point, right, the chief technology officer. Okay, so I think having a broad-based curriculum of thinking about management as well as in the context of technology and innovation and even entrepreneurship, right, can give you that kind of breadth, right? So MSc MOTI will better equip you and prepare you to be a proactive member of the R&D team and accelerate your development as an effective manager and R&D leader. What if you said that, R&D is fun, but I want to do something that's not related, directly to R&D, right? So some of the non-R&D roles, such as design, technology, innovation management, of course, manufacturing, product management, even marketing, right? Corporate planning, logistics, right? Singapore is a big logistics hub, technology transfer, services, and so on, right? Yes, MOTI degree and program can also equip you for this kind of career development in some of the non-R&D roles, right? You will be able to learn new hard and soft skills on the job, right? The MOTI program will equip you well to prepare you well for that kind of learning on the job. It will also help you to learn how to learn, right? So this is critical, right? So we know that things are evolving quickly, technology changes quickly, so it's important to learn how to learn, right? So through many of our courses, we actually equip our students with ability to pick up new things quickly, right? To learn how to learn, to understand the underlying logics and concepts, right? And to identify and embrace new opportunities, right? And of course, innovation requires a prepared mind. So we will give you an up-to-date knowledge and a very systematic and scientific approach, which will help you to be better equipped, be ready and proactive in your new job, right? In some of these non-R&D careers and roles, right? So an MSc MOTI will prepare you to be a future leader in a technology-intensive or technology-related company or organization and open your door to many new opportunities. And lastly, I understand some of you, want to go out there, break new paths, right? Forge new, paths and, start new companies. So for the entrepreneurs among our students, right, MOTI will also equip you well to be either, a founder, a serial founder, or even, joiners, right? So you might join a new startup, right? So innovators within a company, founders, co-founders, joiners, and so on, right? So you will be inspired by our new ideas that our world-class faculty and industry experts will deliver in the classroom, and we will do this through experiential learning. We'll do this through guest speech. We'll do this through case studies. So it's going to be a very immersive experience that will help to inspire you and to give you the right equipment and to give you the right knowledge to think about emerging technologies, including service innovation companies, thinking about opportunity not only at the top, but bottom or even middle of the pyramid, right? Thinking about the new technologies that's up and coming, right? The AI, information communication technologies, platform-based technologies, even our aging population, right? Silver industry development, and of course, not to forget, right? Sustainability and environment, right? And energy, right? So I think our MOTI courses will be broad enough to cover some of this and allow you, to forge your own path, right? To think about entrepreneurship, right? In addition to the R&D roles and the non-R&D roles. So in recent years, some of our MOTI students and graduates have indeed, joined startups or created their own promising new startups ventures. So this is really exciting times ahead. Okay, so just a quick overview of some of the curriculum. We have many cool core courses. Not because I'm, the director of the program, but some of these courses are super important, such as thinking about intellectual property management, right? Thinking about intangible assets, right? Which account for a large portion of many of these firms' assets. No longer, the very hard, the things that you can see, the physical assets, but really the intangible and intellectual assets. Okay, and how can you create value from products? Can you manage technological innovation? And of course, you need to know a little bit about business finance, right? In order to do some of this and to think about marketing as well. And of course, our new course on data analytics, right? So this is critical for many of you who are kind of, math and data oriented. You want to look into the data, right? So think about Grab, right? Think about some of the platform-based companies, right? A lot of this, the biggest assets, right, are in the data, right? And of course, we have a number of internships and projects, research projects, extended practicum that you work with industry partners and firms, technology management internship, and even your overseas industrial project. I'll talk about that overseas project a little bit, right, in the next couple of slides. And in terms of specialization, currently we have 3, right? So data analytics and for innovation management, where we cover courses such as technology forecasting intelligence, maximizing innovation value through pattern analytics, applied engineering statistics, decision analysis. Our second stream or area of specialization, AOS, will be product management and digital strategy. So managing the human elements of technology management. Wei is teaching that, our faculty. Creativity and problem-solving skills, digital disruption and tech strategy. This is taught by our faculty, Amit. Service innovation management, and of course, last but not least, innovation entrepreneurship, right? Many of the courses on venture capital funding, technology-based strategy. Currently, Vincent is teaching this course on entrepreneurial strategy, frugal innovation, tech launch, enterprise development, and so on. Okay, so we have a great number of courses for you to select, and of course, to complete your experience, right, you can go overseas to our NUS Overseas College. You know, many of our students have gone on to different places: Israel, Munich, Nagoya, Southeast Asia, Shenzhen, and other places. And that you can structure very nicely into your curriculum. Some of you, if you decide to do it in 2 semesters, it's fine, but I encourage you to stay on a little bit longer, to explore, to do your overseas experience, and to structure all your courses into this great program. And that will kind of complete your experience. We indeed have students who want to stay on even longer and do more internships and to complete the experience and to have a fulfilling and enriching experience that will actually help them in their future career. Okay, so this is one example of how you can do it in 3 semesters. All right, so with that brief introduction, let me now pass on my time to the panel on MOTI alumni, and they will be with you speaking as the 3 panelists for 15 minutes. And after that, another panel on industry experts, right? And without further delay, let me introduce Wilson.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, okay, you're back. Okay.
Okay, is this good? Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. So it's nice to see Prof. Kenneth again. I miss your class, miss your jokes. It's amazing. So first of all, I think we have already answered my first question, which is everyone can hear me clearly, right? So give a thumbs up with smiley. Yep, and type of question if you have. So I really thank everyone for investing your time today, this Thursday afternoon, joining us at the Management of Technology and Innovation session. So my name is Wilson, and I'm the panel moderator for this wonderful session with the MOTI alumni. So today with me, we have amazing alumni panel, Miss Lee Ting Ying, Global Product Manager from Paul Corporation. So want to say hi first.
Hello. Hi.
Right, and we have Mr. Liu Dong, Senior Consultant from Continental Automotive. Want to say hi?
Hello, everyone.
Right, so everyone's mic's working, and myself, business analyst in Visa right now. So we are all alumni from the management of technology and innovation program. And the important thing is where we'll be talking about the big why, and you need to keep your eyes on this program and how that could actually directly impact your career trajectory. But before we dive into the panel introductions, just want to understand the floor. How many undergraduate students or current working adults intending to take a master's in part-time from it? You show your hands up, or anyone?
Awesome.
Right, that's awesome. Okay, thank you. So our goal today is actually quite simple, which is that whatever current role that you're in or embarking on a new career plan in a new industry or sector, you will definitely come away with 3 things: a fresh perspective on your career, a new strategy to acquire good skills, in-demand skills, and where to gain them, so that you can be more successful in your career and even transform your career. So here's the format of an idea what to expect in the next couple of minutes. We'll take a moment for the other 2 panelists to introduce themselves. You can see they are landing hot roles in product management and consulting. So I'll also kick off the conversation to draw high-level training skills and trends. And after that, if anyone has questions, type them in the chat box. And yeah, feel free to raise hand and ask us. Sounds good? Right. So all great. So now I'll start with Ting Ying. So when we first met, you shared with me that you actually started as an engineer. So tell us your current role and why did you aspire to do that?
Yeah. Hi. Hello, everybody. Good evening. So I'm thinking I'm actually the global product manager for Paul Microelectronics. So Paul Microelectronics is actually the market leader for advanced nodes EUV filtration and purification. So I'm actually managing the whole photolithography product portfolio. So in my current role, right, I need to understand the market demand, develop business strategies, as well as drive technology development and plan for future capacity. So it is the whole portfolio. And in order to succeed in my current role, right, I'm also managing global diverse teams of applications, product and planning managers. Yeah, so this is my current role. Right. So for your second question, right, Wilson, about why I chose to do MOTI, right? So because MOTI actually provide me with the essential skills and knowledge to transit me from my technical background, because I'm previously working in the semiconductor fabs, so mainly on the photolithography process part. So modules like business finance, intellectual property management, innovation strategy actually help me broaden out my horizon from my engineering background. So MOT actually address how companies can gain competitive advantage through technology and innovation to create and capture value, right? So this is a crucial part for my current role. So in fact, I could say that I was actually well prepared for this career advancement after this course. That is, success occurs when opportunities meet preparation. So it's very suitable for like me or graduates from high-tech engineering industries. Also very grateful for all the professors here and my teammates that helped me along the way. Yeah.
That's really interesting because I remember when we first talked about how your career transition from an engineer to a product manager, it's been exciting, right? And now I think you're a global product manager. Correct me if I'm wrong. So I believe MOT has really helped you a lot.
Yeah. I'm
So
very grateful for this opportunity that has led to my career advancement.
right. And now I really want to hear it from Liu Dong as well, because he also took a chance and he started out as a software engineer and turned into a consultant, and now the senior consultant in Continental Automotive. Now, for some of us who might not be fully aware that actually consulting is almost an entirely different profession from being a software engineer. So I really love to hear what is Liu Dong's aspirations to transit, and tell us your current role and how did you do that?
Thank you, Wilson. Definitely. So after my graduation from MOT, I did this switch from my previous role as a software engineer to management consultant in Continental Singapore, which is an in-house consultancy in a corporation. And so now, since last year, I'm also leading a team in Shanghai and to extend our consulting services to China. I think MOT did help me in my career progression in mainly three aspects. The first is, I think, about the knowledge level. MOT did provide me very broad perspectives about technological or engineering industry, including, for example, topics like IP management, marketing, finance, innovation management, which are typically topics which as an engineer, I might not have the opportunity to explore in my daily work routine. Second, especially for the consulting industry, I believe I benefit a lot from the training and hands-on practice in the topics like data analytics, case studies within the MOT, project work, and weekly case study preparation. And remember, at least in quite many of the courses, we are asked to prepare a case study in advance of every week and present and discuss the insights with classmates. So I really benefit from that exercise a lot. And lastly, definitely but not the least, this is about the confidence offered from MOT or through this MOT learning journey by surviving all these challenging project work and presentation among your peer colleagues, among the different audience. Then with that, I think it supported me to this successful transition.
And that's really exciting because I think both Ping and myself, we see the same point on how MOTI has offered an extensive curriculum like Prof. Han showed on the display right now, and that actually brings us really well to the next point, is as in during the course that we were taking, and both maybe starting with thinking, what course activities did you take up? As in, maybe you can pick one or two and really tell us what skills did you learn to help you transform from being an engineer to a global product manager, right? As in, what are the skills that you gain within this course and these modules that you take? Why not share with us?
Yeah, I would like to. So I think the four most important module, right, will be, of course, the marketing and the innovation module, because both these module is the key for my current job. So by saying this, right, the project requirements, the deliverers is actually very high and the timelines are very tight. And one thing is the sales pitch, that when we are making a sales pitch for our innovative new ideas, that could be very challenging because you're subjected to a lot of challenges from the floor. So this actually helps me in terms of my exposure and practical experience. And overall, right, for the whole MOTI program, right, the conducive environment actually promotes to speak up, allow free changes, exchange of ideas, boost creativity, and also promote critical thinking skills, and also develop curiosity, which is very helpful for me, I would say, both professionally and personally. Yeah.
Right, thank you. And really, how about you, Tom? Tell us one or two.
Yeah, definitely. I think I would take another. Definitely, all the courses are so interesting, and there's so many interesting, exciting, but also challenging courses in this MOTI. But maybe I would take another two different examples from thinking. One is I was deeply impressed by this course, so-called Management of Technology Innovation. I think this is what I call it a really comprehensive overview of the entire life cycle of the technology management. Till now, I think many of my daily work will still reuse the concepts and frameworks which was introduced within this module, such like things like the S-curve, the technology adoption curves, and even for the 5 force models and so on. And another, I think, pretty exciting and interactive course I had, maybe not in the list, but I think it's also some other courses will also definitely involve this kind of interactive workshops. That is, I joined one design thinking workshops that was roughly about 10 weeks interactive workshops guided by professional moderators. And within that module, we learned and we experienced in person this persona interviewing, elevator pitching, building a low-cost prototyping. In the end, you need to present your product to your peer classmates to get the investment, virtual investment, as your final result. So which turns out to be such a good simulation in the actual business world.
Right. And I felt the same thing, but we really want to share more, but really in a tight timeline. So I'm really coming to close, and I want to thank both panelists. And I would just want to say a couple of takeaways. Engineers have conventionally been perceived as the one who sit behind their code development throughout their careers, but as you can see, the three of us are none. So we armed ourselves with an arsenal of in-demand hot skills that have moved our careers into new heights. So, and to get this kind of business instincts, we immerse ourselves into product innovation, marketing, strategic planning, and all these are offered in the MOTI program. And finally, if you're already in your career and still desire to take up a master's program, and you can surely do it in part-time, because we have all done it. And with that, I thank everyone for your time, and hope you can join us and become an alumni too. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Wilson. And of course, the great courses that were mentioned just now was, taught by none other than our, very experienced faculty, Punima, who is also here, Management of Technology and Technological Innovation. So I think our program can help those with, a STEM, science, technology, engineering, management, or math background, build on top of that, and to bridge your technical skills and that of, commercial and, the market skills that some of our engineering students might not have so much, right, in their former training. Okay, so with that sharing, let me now move on to the last panel, where the experts from our industry, some of them have also been teaching for us as a adjunct faculty, will now share with us how MOTI is instrumental for their career growth. So I'm going to pass the time to Dr. Vincent Kuo. Would you take it away? Thank you.
Yep. Okay. Thank you, Kenneth. Hello, everyone. Thank you to the station. Yeah, I think after and next to the alumni, I think it'll be good to hear some ideas from the industries. So today we have two distinguished guests that works at different institutions that lead the technology and the innovation development of Singapore. Yeah, so we have Mr. Tan Yinglan from the Insignia Venture Honors, and also the Professor Lin Kanghui from the A-Star. So I think I would like to start with, can I invite the panelists to start with a short introduction about yourself, so that the audience could let to know you a little bit better. That would be facilitate our discussion today. Can I start with the Kanghui?
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for having me to this panel discussion. So my name is Keng Hui, and I'm an engineer by training. So currently, I'm the Assistant CEO of A-Star, where I oversee research in the area of science and technology, where we collaborate with companies, we collaborate with universities, we collaborate with government agencies to turn ideas, products, and services in order to create impact. Thank you.
Right, thank you. Yinglan?
Hi, I'm Yinglan. I founded Insignia Ventures Partners, which is an early stage venture fund investing in tech companies in Southeast Asia. Thanks for having me. I had the privilege to teach a few classes at MOTI. It's been a joy to interact with a lot of the students and current alumni of the program. It's great that some of them actually end up joining some of our portfolio companies and went on to great careers.
Right, thank you. So I think as the steering wheel of the overall development of technology innovation, and also, I mean, venture capital just like the fuel to the innovations. So I want to throw out the first questions to the two guests. How would you describe the landscape of the current technology and innovation development? How would you foresee what is going to come, and what would be the impact to our life or our industry? Could we start with the Kanghui, Steph?
Sure. I think your question is what is going to be the major trends that's going to come?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think first and foremost, the rate of change is definitely going to get faster and faster. And we've all seen how this is being fueled by internet, by knowledge sharing. For example, like nobody would have thought that a vaccine could be created, in less than 1 year, but enabled by, a lot of science, technology, this has made it possible. So I think the rate of change is going to get faster and faster, which is why it's very essential for us to be very flexible in having sort of T-shaped skills in order to manage this. I think the second one definitely is on digitalization, again, accelerated by the situations that we see in COVID, in which human connectivity was limited, but subsequently enabled by digital connectivity, digital payment, video conferencing that we have today, factory automation, e-commerce. And I think the other major trend really coming big is on sustainability, because sustainability is not only an existential issue facing everyone, but there are also a lot of opportunities to be embraced. And also many nations as well as agencies are actually committed to the net zero goal. So we're going to see a lot of regulation, a lot of business practices, a lot of opportunities in the whole sustainability drive. Yeah, so I would broadly summarize as this field.
Right, thank you. So we know there are quite a lot of things coming up. We got the digital innovation, we got the disruption, and also the pandemic situation could fasten several things development. So what about Yinglan? What's your view from the capital side? What would you be the development? Yeah.
I think it's a function of three things that have changed dramatically, right? So if you look at the talent pool in Southeast Asia, I mean, 10 years ago, you didn't have companies like CDE, Goto, Grab, and the talent, I mean, on average, actually, we saw the numbers last year, each of these companies have 300 people on average leave to start new companies, right?
Wow.
So you have people who have accumulated many years of company building expertise, leave to start the new companies, and that has spawned talent. And used to be the case where there were not enough engineers in Southeast Asia. And I think now it's dramatically changing. 10 years ago, if you ask every first class honors from NUS, they want to join a bank, they want to go into government, they want to go to McKinsey. I think now when I went to give a talk recently, I think the number was closer to like 30 to 40% actually want to join a fast growth technology company, right? So I think that is certainly, and I think we're still not at Israel's level yet, where in Israel, if you're not in a startup, your mom will ask you, hey, why are you not in a startup? Your cousin did this and made 100 million. 10 years ago, if you come to Singapore, I mean, Singapore, if you join a startup, your mom will ask you, hey, you are crazy. Why are you going to join a startup? Right? So I think it's not there. It's definitely advanced since 10 years ago. It's not as advanced as Israel, but I think certainly we are improving, right? So that's one.
Yeah.
I think the second thing is capital, right? So I think what we're seeing is an unprecedented tidal wave of capital entering Southeast Asia, right? So if you just look at one segment alone, family office, right? 2018, there was 28 family offices, more than $1 billion. 2019, there was 111. 2020, there was 240. Last year alone, there was 420. This year, you'll probably cross 600, right? And that means there's probably more than 1.5 trillion of capital in Southeast Asia, which are looking for growth, right? So as a result, I think investors like us are quite privileged that, hey, we have a front row seat to both the talent and capital entering the region. I think the third is, of course, there's a now ready market in the region, not just Singapore, but the growing middle class in Indonesia, in Vietnam, and Philippines. So I think the three creates a very interesting synergy with each other. And of course, like what Prof. Lim mentioned about COVID, digitalization, obviously it helps the process. But I think the underlying fundamentals are pretty strong.
Thank you. I think you bring up a very good point that probably we could look not just about Singapore. Southeast Asia is emerging, and there are a lot of opportunity over there. So, and we say the opportunities favor those prepared. So, how should the scientists, how should the engineers prepare themselves to embracing such opportunity coming from the digitalization, coming from the cryptalization, and coming from all these market opportunities? So this one I might be start from inline. So if somebody wants to join a startup or want to do a startup or new ventures, how should they prepare themselves? What kind of skill sets they should have, or you will prefer, or you will appreciate?
Yeah. I mean, there's a few interesting trends, right? I think one is that there's a saying, the future is already here, right? It's just distributed unevenly. So if you look at, let's say you mentioned crypto, right? 10 years ago, people were already doing crypto as a hobby, right? But like less than 0.1% of the population probably are exposed to Web3 or crypto, right? Similar for robotics, right? Similar for many other things, right? So I think it's always good to have a hobby and tinker on the side, maybe as a hobby. Drones, for example, DJI 10 years ago, only the 0.1% have drones, right? Now, I think maybe closer to a few percent of the population have drones. So it's always good to have and I think there's obviously some that will fall by the wayside, but some of these hobbies will become the future, the new normal, right? So I think that's one. Always be open to experiment and tinker and have some hobbies that's interesting. So I think second thing is, if you are thinking of more startup type career, then I think the three skill sets is really building, selling, recruiting, right? You can't run away from these three, right? So you have to build products, you have to sell products, you have to recruit people. So anything like if you are in a, in visa or, I think some of our students end up in a lot of engineering firm, try to get yourself in a role where it does one of the three things or more than one if possible, right? You build, you sell, you recruit. And then I think that are good building blocks for when you want to start your own company. And that's what that's one of the skill sets we look for. And I think the third point is less of a skill set, but it's a mindset, right? Which is in tech, it moves very fast, right? So what we are looking for is not just knowledge, it's the ability to learn. It's the DY/DX, it's the slope, not the intercept, right? It's the ability to learn fast. So, I think always be comfortable with being uncomfortable. That's the saying. Try to get yourself in a role that requires you to stretch and have the growth mindset, right? Because tech is fast moving, right? If you keep doing the same thing in the then over the next 10 years, you're going to be obsolete. So you always got to be on your feet, think on your feet, always innovate and always try to learn new things. Grow. If you grow 1% better a day, you get 37 times better in a year, right? So that's my quick few thoughts.
Right. I think that's very good. Selling, recruiting, and building. That's a very fundamental 3 skills. So, Genghui, I know in your business you interact with a lot of scientists, engineers. So, in terms of a good career in this field, how would you advise them?
Well, I agree with all the points that Ilan mentioned about how in today's world where things move very fast and really enabled by technology, having that very open mind, having that very hungry mind, being flexible, being adaptable, having great communication skills, be able to work as a team effectively is very, very important. And I think one of the reasons why I find the MOTI very interesting, and I also guest teach, is that it enables our students, right, to acquire skill as what I call the T-shaped individual, which is essentially how do you have bilingual skills? Bilingual skills in which one hand you have got deep domain knowledge, technical knowledge in a certain area, such as engineering, where it builds, you have got depth, you've got a foundation in one area. And so this is one part of the bilingual, but the other part of bilingual is the ability to then have skills to manage the technology, have skills in open innovation, have skills in design thinking, technology road mapping, understanding about IP. And then when you combine these 2 skills, you find that you've got a very powerful combination. And very importantly, I think something unique, because I think this bilingualism, this ability to pull different things together is something which will be very, very highly sought after today, particularly in this very, very fast moving world, because many of the innovation really happens at the intersections. And then this is where technology combined with business innovation can then create, sort of new paradigm shift. And this is, I think, what MOTI would be very, very useful for.
Right, thank you. I think if we look back to the MOTI curriculum, I think definitely we focus on not just about the skill sets, but I think we also focus on the mindset. So the students can learn quite a lot of product development, quite a lot of the entrepreneurship during the programs. Yeah. So I think this is just a short panel discussion. So I would wrap up here, and thanks to our distinguished guests, Genghui and Ilan, to join us today. I think your input is very, very valuable. I think they are very insightful to our audience. So I will give the floor back to Kenneth.
Okay. Thanks very much. Thanks very much to our distinguished panelists, Yinglan, Genghui, and of course, Ting Ying and Liu Dong. And of course, thanks to Wilson and to Vincent for moderating the sessions. I'm sure that you have learned a lot, even though we don't have too much time today, but you're more than welcome to explore our program. All our courses are here. Do scan the QR code, and then you can go to the website to find out more. And I hope you will have an enriching journey. Whatever path you choose, and that today's sharing is a little part of that journey, right? So hopefully that our program, among other programs, can help to transform, right, your thinking, transform your career, and take it to the next level. All right, so hopefully I will see many of you again in person, and do feel free to explore. And our emails are also there. Mavis is here, myself. Send us an email if you have questions. All right, thanks very much, and I hope to see all of you again in person very soon. All right, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
You can go back to the main room, and there are other sessions for you to join afterwards. Right? Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. Thanks, Punima. Thanks, everyone, for coming.
Thanks, Kenneth. Bye. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.